Today, we are going to talk about a transformative period of our growth where we increased the M1 retention of MyBillBook by 20% in just 3 months. We are going to talk about three specific tactics which helped achieve these numbers. These are number one, replicating the real world experiences in digital interfaces. Number two, identifying different user segments and then tailoring the product based on their unique needs. And number three, increasing the user activation by intuitive redesign. We'll talk about them one by one. Right. So first, reimagining the real world experiences in digital interfaces. Right. So initially, the onboarding of MyBillBook was like any other SaaS software, wherein once you log in on the application, the first thing that you do is enter the mobile number, then OTP, followed by entering some basic details like business name, business type, industry, etc. And then you go on to create your first invoice, right? However, in a real world, when a business owner wants to do invoicing, the first thing that he does is he goes to a shop and looks at different invoice formats and picks the one that resonates with his brand. We replicated the same in our interface, wherein now when a business owner registers, uh, he is immediately greeted with a range of themes to choose from. Right? This simple yet powerful change helped reduce the time to value, making the aha moment more accessible right from the start, and it contributed to about 10% increase in M1 retention. Right. Number two, identifying different user segments and then tailoring the product based on their unique needs. So while delving into the data, we discovered that about 20% of our users are from service sector. Okay. This was a huge surprise for us because when we were building the first few iterations of the product, we didn't imagine service sector to be the ideal customer persona. However, this insight helped prompted us to cater to services more specifically, wherein now we revamped the create item flow and we introduced differentiated options to create a service item or a product item, right? Now, if a user is creating a service item, we don't show them things like opening stock quantity, low stock quantity, purchase price, etc., because it's not relevant for services, right? This increased the experience of the service sector businesses on my book and thereby contributed to about 5% increase in the M1 retention. Right. Number three, increasing the user activation through intuitive redesign. Here we are going to talk about the settings section of our app. Settings generally are very cumbersome and confusing. Right? Just open your Android app or an iPhone app and go to settings. You will see there are a bunch of settings. It's not always intuitive what setting will change what, right? And same was the case with my book, where in we have invoice settings, item settings, business settings, in user settings, and each of the settings had multiple options and toggles. And users were not able to comprehend what each thing means. This is what we discovered doing user research. Right. So we redesigned the settings. Now we have redesigned it in a way wherein we have a it's now a split screen where on the first part of the screen we preview the changes that the user is doing on the second part of the screen where he's playing around with the settings. So this dynamic setup helped reduce the comprehension gap, and made the settings more intuitive. It helped business owners customize the product based on their unique needs, and thereby it helped increase our M1 retention by about 8%. Right. So that's all. The key takeaway here is that there was not just one thing that contributed to our success. It was the compounding factor of three different well thought out initiatives. And this also showcases how we can achieve great results using first principle thinking, data driven decision making, and user centered design.